Thank you for staying with us. Let's now take you through the front pages of Nigerian newspapers to see what the headlines will be this wonderful Friday cook morning. And return for a quick analysis of what we will be seeing here. Let's begin quickly with the Nation newspaper with some political matters. INEC clears ADA, 13 others to apply for registration as parties. Okay, it seems political parties are increasing already. Well, we'll talk more if this is good or bad for the country. On asset recovery, this Nigeria is where we are going to. First off, Nigeria recovered $700 million looted funds abroad, says ICPC boss. Quite interesting. I remember I had interviewed him some time ago. But let's talk on the Platform Times this morning. The same thing as well, $700 million stolen wealth returned to Nigeria. ICPC. We'll let you know what the rider is saying as well. As we move quite quickly to the Nigerian News Direct, where it is talking about consumer protection, banking FMCG sectors top list of consumer complaints. Of course, fast goods should be complained as well. But that's what News Direct is showing us this morning as we move to this brouhaha of Nupeng and Dangote, which is on the Daily Times this morning. And we're seeing right here, strike imminent as Dangote breaks agreement. This is according to Nupeng. Why is Dangote breaking the agreement? We will talk when we come back for analysis. Same thing also on the Punch newspaper. Nupeng, Dangote clash as tanker drivers deal collapses. We'll let you know what the rider under that is as well. But let's move to another strike matters, this time around on the Blueprint newspaper. And we see right here anxiety as health resident doctors extend industrial action ultimatum by 24 hours. This is really not looking good for our health sector. Something must be done. And finally, on sanitation, unfortunately, there's no Sporting Life today. The Guardian newspaper is showing us another matter. Open defecation crisis worsens, threatens 2030 sanitation target. Really, really sad, Etoma, this morning. But let's begin with...
I'm happy that there's no Sporting Life. Ever since that thing happened between Nigeria and Africa, I just
you don't want to talk about sports? Well, don't worry. Nigeria will come back again.
I'm hoping so.
The Nation newspaper, Etoma, INEC has cleared ADA, 13 others to apply for registration as political parties.
Yes.
2027 is just tomorrow.
The registration is, you can do your registration in hours. You know, the thing that takes time is for INEC to clear you and say, yes, you are qualified to be a political party. But the process of registration itself, it doesn't take that long. So you can do your registration 90 days to election, 150 days to election. You're still recognized as a political party. But what I want to talk about is, do we need a proliferation of political parties? The ones that we have right now, how well are they doing? You know, we are not doing so well as opposition. You know, the only party that seems to be doing well is the ruling party. And now we have 14 more that will join the fray. I think these guys that are registering these political parties are just looking for relevance and looking for a way to be relevant in the political scene, and when they do find that relevance, they now migrate to the actual party they had in mind in the first place.
Well, but if you ask me, I'll say it's democracy. At the end of the day, you know, the amount of parties that want to be there, let them be there. I only say, can you stand the test of time? Everybody can go to dance, but there'll be one winner. So let them come. And we keep speaking about opposition. Most of the times we do not hear from opposition. Nigeria is not a one-party system. So the more parties, you know, the more we know that, you know, it's a democracy. Now Nigerians, it's on your honors to vote for who you want to vote for. So my own problem is that, are they even going to stand the test of time? A lot of people are forming political parties. Like I say, 2027 is definitely going to be a movie. It's going to be hotter than fire. And I can't wait to bring you all the updates. Like
don't worry. Ibrahim, you have something to say about this?
Yeah. Well, when you have about 170 something political parties, you know, signaling that they want to register, and then about 13 of them, or 14 of them, now getting the first, skipping, I mean, what's it called? Scaling the first phase of the process. So it is not who yet for them. Because INEC might decide that they are not meeting up with the requirements. But it's within, as you said, it's within their rights. Freedom of association is guaranteed by the Nigerian Constitution, as well as the, what's it called? Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So let's see how it's going to be, because the more the merrier, they say. But I'm worried as to what if we have about 21, 27 political parties, and then you're having a ballot paper that is as long as my own prayer mat.
You see, but that's my worry. It gets to a point, it looks as if it's a jamboree. You know, that seriousness that we need to attach to election and electioneering, it wouldn't be there anymore, because the parties are just so many, you know. I would want a situation where, just like the banks are merging with stronger banks are swallowing up weaker banks, stronger parties should swallow up
but who
weaker parties.
Who are the people that are pushing for this party? Are they the same politicians as we see in
another
ABC?
thing again.
Are they the same politicians who are continuously wrecked this country? Well, and because they are out of power, they feel paid so much so that they are now coming
And you know, Ibrahim, no matter how long the paper is, even though it's like the praying mat, the person you want to vote for, you will put your thumb there.
But you can be so confused. Maybe the government should do like we did for the university, say no more universities for a period of time, no more political parties.
It's in the Constitution. You can't take people off their rights.
Line with the Constitution.
Indeed. But let's move now to this Nigeria, this matter of asset recovery. The rider here says charges NASS, the National Assembly, to pass whistleblowers bill into law, vows to curb corruption at LGs, in other words, local governments as well. $700 million dollars rather, Itoba. This is quite a lot of money the ICPC has recovered. This is ICPC alone. This is a lot of money.
So
it means
much.
a lot of our monies are leaving this place with hands and legs.
So much money. I was at the airport once and I saw them carrying money, rolling monies at the airport. I expected I'll see stuff like that at the central bank or any of our commercial banks, but at the airport. But that's aside. The interesting thing is that $700 million is a whole lot of money. Sink that money in the health sector and the doctors wouldn't strike.
And you know, I was going to say something.
Couldn't have said it better.
Sometimes we're saying that the money has hands, like some of them are being swallowed by snakes. Let's not forget. There are so many ways that these monies get to leave Nigeria. But I'm saying now, I've said it before on this table, if these monies have been recovered, what are you using it for? Who takes the money? So you cannot now recover something at the end of the day, it now goes to no accountability. These monies that have been recovered, they should be used for infrastructure, they should be used for health, they should be used for education. We want to see the money being used, actually, if you've recovered them.
I'm concerned.
Ibrahim, just a second. On the platform Times, because I wanted to react to the rider right here. Loot traced to foreign account of corrupt officials and 7.3 billion naira seized from failed local council projects.
That's actually...
And yet, people at the grassroots are not seeing the dividends.
Exactly.
First and foremost, people are stealing this money and stashing them abroad. And that reminds me of David Cameron, former UK Prime Minister.
That's right.
Nigeria is fantastically corrupt. Forgetting the fact that these monies that are stolen are taken to their own country to build their own economy. Of course, to build their own economy. And then they would not say, do not save this money in our accounts. And even when you ask for repatriation of these funds, there you go through, red tape systems, bottlenecks and all of that. And so when you're saying that a country is corrupt and you're enabling corruption, then who are you? Even the word corruption did not come from us. It actually come from you.
It's only a lexicon.
But one thing is we need to strengthen our system. It's so sad that, we've now had local government autonomy, which has not really, materialized the way we want it. But, if you look at the rider, it's saying that 7.3 billion naira seized from failed local council projects. Come on, you are supposed to be the grassrooters, the one who is ensuring that governance gets to the grassroots, but you're still stealing the money. We're blaming the federal government, blaming the state government. How much more of the local government are not functioning?
Let me just say something quickly. Sometimes when these things happen, I feel like, are we really human beings ourselves? We're the ones doing ourselves. I think there's a proverb like that, even a Yoruba proverb that human beings, I can't say
it is
it calls something, I can't say.
Sorry, the beetle or the weevil that is eating the vegetables stays inside.
There's a saying in Yoruba like that. Now, what I'm saying is that How can you be so evil that now the grassroots, they are suffering, but yet now you're taking this money and you're starting it abroad? That is not even your country, making another economy better. Yeah. You know, sometimes when we see there are corrupt leaders that do this, and I'm going to speak verbally on TV today, if they are the corrupt, they are Nigerians doing this thing. Of
course,
and you're wondering, like, why? What is the reason? We say the government is bad, but when power is put into your hands, what do you do with that power? You do not care if your brother has not eaten. You don't care if your brother dies.
I mean, and here we're talking for autonomy for the local government, and here we're having 7.3 billion not used for what it was allotted for. Yeah. Really sad.
So where are the money?
Where is the money? Accountability. Now the question is, where is the money?
Bring the money. Consumer protection is where we're going to next, and this is on the News Direct Etoma this morning. Banking, FMCG, that's fast moving consumer goods sector, top the list of consumer complaints. Of course, if I go to buy product and you're not treating me pretty well, of course I'll have to complain. Now, the writer here says agency recovers over 10 billion naira for aggrieved customers. This is a huge one.
You see, at times I hear these figures and I have a headache. You know, let me concentrate on the banks. The banks have been largely, that's my personal opinion, largely a disappointment, because I would have believed that because they are holding people's funds, they will understand that the service that they provide is very, very important, and they are, you know, dealing with the public directly, you know, so things would have been better. The way they behave. A friend of mine told me that the only thing the bank doesn't charge is the air you breathe when you are in their banking hall, because there are charges for everything. There are times they send you text messages that you do not need.
And they charge you.
And they charge you on that. The whole idea is for the bank to make money. Let the emphasis be on service to the people, not how much you make as a bank.
Or I'll start saving in my colo.
Right. You know, I went to the market the other day looking for colo to buy.
No, but that thing, why it's scary is because somebody can just take it and all your life savings is gone. That's the scary thing.
One thing I always say,
we have prison bars from my house.
Banks of this world are actually designed to steal your money. You know, it's a pure fact. You've actually, you know, given us
in an economical way, isn't it?
Yes, because they will charge you for SMS, charge you for emails, charge you for these and all of that. Failed transaction, even when you mistakenly transfer money to another person's account, it's a long,
ATM,
you know, way to retrieve your money back, and that is if you go through the, you know, the proper channels. If they even want to help you at the end of the day, so it's a whole lot of things. So we need to look into this, you know, pretty well. We want banks to merge together, so much so that, you know, they'll be strengthened and ensure that they operate under a very viral regulatory, you know, system, economy.
Exactly, and customer service is a thing too as well, because if I've put my money in the bank, you treat me nicely, because if my money is not in that bank, it would not operate properly.
Of course. Now let's go to the Daily Times this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Strike imminent as Dangote breaks agreement. Ria.
You
like that word a lot.
No, agreement is agreement. You can't be breaking agreement.
Ibrahim, you know, the Punch newspaper is also saying the same thing. And the writer here says, Dangote Refinery says union membership not compulsory as Nupeng ponders fresh strike. Marketers urge adherence to MOU NLC, warns refinery against agreement breach.
Etoma, Ria, and Nelson, do you know that some days ago we were talking about Dangote, you know, trying to be monopolistic and as being accused. But do you know that Nupeng too had been in a monopoly of some sort? Because so much so that any little thing we're going on strike and everyone holding the economy by the jugular. And Dangote is saying that for all the refineries that we have, all the filling stations that we have, don't bother about, you know, procuring trucks or anything.
We can
just place order and then we'll deliver this fuel to your doorsteps, you understand? And that is who has been helping us to reduce the price of, fuel. Since Dangote Refinery. And he's saying that, listen, it's not monopolistic. About 30 companies were issued licenses. Why didn't they go ahead and, you know, start refinery? BUA has it, So why are they not doing it? So I've done mine. Why are you saying I'm monopolizing? But the thing is, it is not so good when you breach agreement, because you've actually reached the agreement. It is very, very important that you honor the agreement. At the time they did the agreement, what did I say? I said the devil is in the detail.
You said it. You said it. And my problem is, if they had agreed on something, you cannot go back to it. You know, you cannot go back and say you do not want the agreement again.
You know, there's a lot on. Sorry,
Dangote was just trying to be smart, you know, by saying, look, joining the union is not compulsory. Hey, the agreement you had is that those drivers can join the union. And then you go back to the office and you have a meeting with your staff and saying, look, if you like, join. If you don't like, no problems. So those ones that will go ahead and join are the bad guys.
There will be a problem.
What happens to them?
That will be
and the center will not be able to hold.
There's a lot of politics going around this Dangote monopolism and Nupeng and so on and
so
forth.
But it's very sad that the federal government that has waded in on this issue, now looking at see if the federal government is not powerful enough to, you know, wield the big stick. You know,
That's right.
How can you mediate and people are reneging?
Exactly.
Hey, Brian, you're going somewhere.
You hit the nail on the head.
But I think we should move on quickly, please, to the Blueprints newspaper, Itoma. This issue of health workers' anxiety as resident doctors extend industrial action or ultimatum by 24 hours. You were saying earlier, if the monies were there, they wouldn't go nowhere.
No, they wouldn't go anywhere. And it is really sad that one of the sectors that we've had brain drain, serious brain drain, is the medical sector. We have Nigerian doctors everywhere in the world apart from Nigeria. Now, the few that are here in Nigeria, they are not having what they should have. They are not asking for anything new. They say are allowances. These are things that have been there from time, according to my friend, from time immemorial. It has been there, you know. Just pay them. Pay these things. We're not asking you to give us jumbo pays or something new. We're not asking for a new kind of allowance. These are allowances that have been existing. I don't feel very comfortable with this thing. Yes. I don't feel very comfortable with it because people will suffer.
People are already suffering, actually, because I tell you now, you go to the hospitals, it's not the best sight to see. Sometimes you even get there are no doctors on seats. Have you been to the hospital when you are I remember I had ulcer attack. They told me there was no doctor on seats. And at the end of the day, these Nigerian doctors, they are out there, they are doing an amazing job. The ones we have here, why are we not treating them well? Like, I'm surprised when people do not even get what they're supposed to get. We know how, they say let nothing hit you in life, but immediately your health hits you, then you know that you have a big problem.
That's right.
Because health is a very vital part in life. I just pray that the federal government, we are listening, because even when I hear doctors go on strike, I'm like, these are people that are not supposed to go on strike at all, because in every day people fall sick. Yeah,
indeed. But let's go to the Guardian newspaper this morning, and which is our last paper this morning, Ibrahim, on the matter of sanitation here. Open defecation crisis worsens, threatens 2030 sanitation target. Check the breakdown. It says only 9% of households have access to basic sanitation services. Delta, Lagos, others struggle with enforcement awareness. 48 million still without toilets as cholera, diarrhea kill over 100,000 children yearly. The North Central leads in prevalence, followed by the Southwest. Ibrahim, this is not looking so nice.
Yeah, it's not looking nice, especially when you go to some metropolis, like in Lagos. You find some people on our way to the office in the morning. You see some people shooting their buttocks, you know, into the ocean. I mean, sorry, into the river.
What a word.
Lagoon rather. And then, I don't know, doing the big G. How many toilets do we have in all of these states? Lagos State, let's start for instance, because sometimes you're pressed and then you want to use a public toilet and you find, you're asking yourself, where exactly would I find this? If it means that you create public toilets for people to use, if you want to charge them 20 naira, 15 naira, as they do in some states, I know there are some places in Ibadan where more you get to Iwo Road, there are places where you have to pay a little for you to, you know, do your discharge, and then people take care of these things. If you go to the IDP camps, how are they treating them? How are they, you know? So it's not just a government thing. I mean, sorry, it's not just our thing to fix. It is the government to ensure that people have access to basic amenities such as water, sanitation, and then the toilets for people to use.
But in a populated area like Lagos, I'm wondering how many toilets the government can build.
How many houses? So we might be talking about open defecation, but the things that are linked to it are quite a number of things.
That's the point.
Yes. How many people are living in proper houses? Because if you live in a proper house, you would have access to that. Number two, why are they not living in proper houses? They don't have money. You know?
How many people are living in shanties?
Every shanty you find, the people living there do open defecation somehow.
All the shanties, most of the shanties actually.
Yes, it is about fixing the economy. It is about providing the basics, water, sanitation, and so on by the government. It is, and it also has a lot to do with general education.
Sorry, very quickly, there was a time, was it about 3 or 4 months ago, I was somewhere around my 12, I got stuck because it started raining, so I hit somewhere, and then when a very big truck, passed, it pushed the water, and we saw pieces in nylon, being deposited right in front of us.
Sometimes you see some kind of sickness, we don't know where it's coming from. These are all the things.
Cholera.
Strange sicknesses, cholera, strange sickness.
And all of that.
It's not the best.
And so it's not just about, this is causing a long-term problem which we need to solve. But that's how far we can go on the newspaper review this morning.